About a year and a half ago, the last Mercedes-Benz C-Class stumbled all the way into 6th place in a Cars.com Sport Sedan comparison test. But Mercedes redesigned the C-Class sedan for 2015 and it fixed a whole laundry list of issues. So for luxury car shoppers, let's see if this Benz belongs back on your list. Now, the C-Class has often been characterized as a baby S-Class in terms of styling, and that's the case more than ever with this 2015 redesign. Check out the headlights. They're very sinewy. They kind of have LED pipes that sort of run here toward the grille. Very similar to the current S-Class flagship right now. This grille, very low, very bold here with 2 bars across the center. Probably the biggest improvement in terms of styling comes in the rear. The last C-Class had this stacked, sort of not real cohesive rear design. Much more flowing here, much more unified between these taillights. Come all the way down here to the tail pipes, which poke out of these bumper openings. Now, overall length for the new C-Class up nearly 4 inches versus its predecessor, which was kind of one of the smaller sedans in its segment. This is closer to kind of the segment average. And despite the extra size, overall weight down about 200 pounds thanks to more aluminum. That helps make even the base engine in the C300, a turbo 4-cylinder good for 241 horsepower, seem pretty quick, certainly quicker than the previous generation's C250. Nice flat torque peak, plenty of passing power, definitely on par with the Audi A4 and the BMW 328, two pretty good competitors in terms of acceleration. If you want more power, there's a turbo V6 in the C400. We've driven that and it is quicker, but I gotta say, the C300 is plenty quick enough, especially because it's got swifter accelerator and transmission response than before, particularly if you put this agility select switch here over into Sport or Sport Plus modes. That switch goes next to the latest generation of Mercedes command interface, which places a knob here below a new touchpad, which you can use to do things like swipe along menu functions, zoom in and zoom out along the map. It's not the fastest reacting system all the time, but if you don't like to use the touchpad, you can always use the knob below. It's very familiar. It's got Mercedes' 3-tiered command interface. Now, that controls this screen up here, which is kind of the only controversial element of the cabin. The way it just perches here, it doesn't retract at all. Some people don't think it's very aesthetic. Otherwise, very few disagreements with this interior. Handsome materials up and down, very consistent from eye level all the way down to foot level. Really exceptional even for this class of small luxury cars. One area I'm not quite so thrilled about, the upper dash and doors have optional faux leather that covers them. Mercedes doesn't do a very good job with the fake leather upper dashboard. I get it, in this price range you can't afford real leather along the dashboard, but Lexus and Cadillac, they do a better job faking it. This sort of stuff kind of seems molded in. The back seat is still pretty low to the floor like the old C-Class. I'm 6 feet tall, and as you can see, my knees are just really kind of uncomfortably elevated here. But seat folding, very practical now. There's a 40-20-40 split rear seat. That means the center part comes down for a pretty big pass-through here. And if you pull down the outboard sides, as you can see, there's a very wide opening here. This part of the seat carries the seat belt with it, so you don't have to mess with that. Really good setup. One of the more practical cars in terms of a folding back seat in this class. Pricing for the redesigned C-Class sedan starts right around $40,000 and extends up into the mid-60s. Our C300 4MATIC test car right here, priced right around $52,000 as you see it, and the 300 is really the one you want to be looking at thanks to its combination of refined drivability, a handsome interior, and easy-to-use electronics. That means for any luxury car shoppers, the redesigned C-Class is a car you definitely want to put back on the list.